This comes to us from Raw Story, and it's about how, let me just read the article here because it's going to piss off Felicia really well. Women attempting to enter the Speaker's lobby outside the House chamber in Congress, guys, have recently been denied entrance based on their shoulder-bearing sleeveless shirts and dresses. According to CBS News, multiple female journalists, as in Kay Tully McManus and Kelly Medrich, have reported that they've been turned away from the Speaker's lobby because of their bare shoulders. And it's a policy not shared by either the Senate or the White House. So this dress code was enforced back in May, when it's starting to get hot outside, when, according to the report, Independent Journal Review's Haley Bird was kicked out of the lobby due to violating the rule. And she says, "When I was kicked out that day, I was just trying to pass through the area to reach another hallway, but I was told I was violating the rules. They offered to find a sweater for me to put on." So,
a fucking sweater?
Yeah.
In DC?
In summertime.
Fuck that.
And like she was saying,
in the summer.
I wasn't coming here to do this. I was walking through to get to another hallway. So it wasn't some tyrannical end of free press, like she says, but I opted just to go around instead. The fuck, man? But recently they've been cracking down on the code, like with open-toed shoes, she told CBS News. I suspect the rules are being...
Is this an amusement park?
I know, right? I suspect the rules are being emphasized now that it's summertime and excruciatingly hot outside and everyone is dressing for the weather. So, open-toe shoes, dresses, bare shoulders. What happened? Did Paul Ryan automatically... is it Mike Pence now that he's like... No, he's not part of the House, though. He's the... He overrides
Senate.
the Senate. Yeah, has nothing to do with the House. So, the fuck are you doing, Paul Ryan? I hope the guy running against him is just going to beat the shit out of him in 2018.
I hope so. And I'm really waiting for him to do something with a backwards baseball hat.
Oh, make some more gay
I'm
porn.
sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry. You can't enter this without a tank top and a backwards baseball cap.
Yeah. Does this dress code apply to guys too?
Bro.
When they're coming back from their working out to go to their offices and get changed, does this apply? I mean, can they be not allowed in their hall because they're not wearing a suit?
Well, I mean, I guess like the clothing requirements for men are pretty crazy. Like the men are still required to wear suits in the summer, which is so archaic. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But the reality is that culture has shifted for women. We don't wear suits.
No.
And I actually think this is a good thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved the 90s power suit and everything like that. But women's clothing has become far more accommodating to women's bodies.
Yeah.
And we have more options now. There is sleeveless things. I can't imagine an office environment in which they're like, sleeveless is inappropriate. Now, I understand that certain clothing is inappropriate in an office.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. But but just shoulders. Like my sexy nun costume from last Halloween, wouldn't wear it to the office. Because you know what? Not there to be sexy.
Yeah.
Not what you do in an office. That's not what it's for. That's it. Like, it's not slut shaming. That's not what an office is for. The purpose is different. But I see women wearing, sleeveless clothing at my office place all the time. I see our executives wearing sleeveless clothes. And the men wear short sleeves but I've seen men in our office wearing tank tops as well, as long as it, doesn't look gross.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, it's a really casual work environment though. So, but still, I mean, that company has kind of updated its standards for comfort, which is good. It's a good thing. Don't come to work gross. All right. Because people have to smell you. But you just dress within reason. But I guarantee the men are having to wear far more restrictive clothing. But the thing is that women's professional fashion has changed, and they do in almost every other setting have the option to wear sleeveless clothing. It's still very much warmer than all the other clothing that one could choose to wear during this time of year. But the men are still in suits, I guess, which is strange to me.
but a good suit can feel like you're wearing pajamas all day. I've been, I mean, except for the fucking collar and the tie. That's the worst part for me. But you get a good suit, it's really comfortable to wear. However, the CBS report details experiences of another young reporter who was told she couldn't enter the lobby because of her dress. So she improvised by tearing pages from her notebook to create sleeves. Quote unquote sleeves.
This is ridiculous.
And
this is ridiculous.
But was still turned away. And so for people that don't know, the speaker's lobby is one of the places that you've seen people conduct quick interviews during like lunch breaks, and men are expected to adhere to this suit and tie dress code too. But women, on the other hand, apparently cannot wear shoulder-bearing blouses, dresses, or open-toe shoes. And these house dress code vaguely states that women must wear, quote, appropriate attire. And that's
that's
not
helpful.
Yeah, I know that's not open to interpretation at all now, is it? So just to be fair, this dress code policy has been in place at least since Pelosi was there. It's been in place, but not enforced. Yeah. And so these guys are being the dicks and enforcing it. So,
well, and so this is what this turns into. What this is actually turning into is a way to remove women from the conversation. And this is because
I'm just going to be like, no, not you. Because
women are going to be women are going to be far more likely to question policies that relate to more empathetic questions. They're going to be more likely to address healthcare or women's rights issues. Women are more likely to address intersectionality issues such as race and freedom of religion. This is just statistically true that women in this country are doing this. And these so women are going to be far more threatening. So by having a way to remove, especially your more liberal women, who are going to be the ones more likely to show a shoulder, which is ridiculous, but it's true, because they understand that shoulders aren't a sexual, they're not an erogenous zone. Shoulders are not erogenous zones. I don't know you guys, but poking it is annoying at worst.
One of the more painful places I got my tattoo done, like right up there on the bone and tendon. Yeah, that shit hurt.
I mean, technically any zone can be an erogenous zone if you know what you're doing. But
biplane, people, biplane.
but I mean, the more liberal women are probably going to be the ones accepting that, like, the arbitrary standards on modesty are silly, especially when it relates to shoulders. And they're what they're doing is they're removing women from the conversation. That's the actual utility of what's being done here, is that they are removing women from the conversation.
And we can all agree that it's a real dick move.
Yep.
And it's something that if you're going to have rules on the books, enforce it for everybody and have it as a ironclad rule, not this vague ass milquetoast rule where appropriate attire is the word that you want to use. Fuck that. They
would get raked through the coals if they were like, no shoulders, because like most people are like,
excuse me,
what?
Really?
And most of the time people are like, shoulders are fine.
Too bad we don't have any house members that have enough balls to go into the speaker's area, like the guys wearing dresses, like men wearing a nice sundress going into the speaker's alley or whatever the fuck it's called, in the speaker's lobby, and just walking around. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to see a house member just like cut the sleeves off their shirt.
That'd be wonderful too. Where like what would you call that? It would be like a shirt with a tie, like with the collar and tie. That'd be weird.
Yeah, it'd be really weird, but it would be absolutely hilarious.
Bring my tickets to the gun show. Oh yeah!
Just to see that on CNN with somebody with ripped off sleeves, like it's 100 degrees and 90% humidity here. Give me a break.
But I mean, when we're talking about women's fashion, culturally, women they're expected to dress more exposed. We are. If women were dressing,
which is weird.
If women were dressing like the men in full suits,
why are you dressing that way? Why are you dressed like a man?
That would only serve to make them more ostracized, being seen as trying to be masculine, making, that, ambitious woman is super scary. That would only hurt themselves. So women's clothing in the office has become softer, more feminine. It really has. And even though like casual dress is going more gender neutral, but it's become more feminine. This means more shoulders, more softer fabrics. Just in general, these things are happening. So in their day to day, these clothing choices are not only more comfortable, thank goodness that we have that part, but they're also a practical usage that they are being seen as, they're not being seen as overly aggressive because women aren't allowed to be aggressive. If women walked in suits dressed like the men, they would be seen as a threat. Right. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. These women can't dress appropriately for the environment, and they can't dress quote unquote appropriately for this speaker's area. It's and again, so the utility is removing women from the conversation.
Need I remind you, everybody that's listening right now, that how many times Hillary Clinton was criticized for whatever pantsuit that she was wearing and whatever was going on. And then when reporters from different areas started talking shit on Trump and his too long of a tie and the fact that he used tape to hold it down, everybody's like, why are you commenting on his clothing? It's like, hello, double standard much?
Yeah.
You fucking asshole.
Absolutely. And I can't help but think that there is a slight element of jealousy in these things.
Yeah. Oh, because I wanted boobs too.
No, it's not just that. It's not just that, but it comes down to men's fashion. We have what? A suit?
You get the basic same variation of shirt and pants and sometimes a jacket.
God forbid you wear a tan one though. Oh.
Oh yeah, no shit. Like, yeah, men have the suit, which basically is pretty much the same. There are variations, but it's pretty much the same.
Pretty much been the same way since the Victorian era. So,
and this is another thing where fashion in the casual sense, which will eventually inform the professional sense, is also evolving in that men are now getting tank tops and different neck cuts and different cuts in the shirts, and that is a growing thing. But they're all still V-necks are great on men. They're a wonderful fashion choice. Polo shirts and different variations on different things that they can wear. I have neutral on the polo shirt.
I've had to wear them too many fucking times for too many jobs. I'm so tired of them.
They're awful. Polo shirts awful.
They are maintaining that wonderful, the wonderful comfort that men's clothing has always been so famous for, is that they're quite comfortable to wear, whereas women's clothing has been horrifically uncomfortable for so long.
Yeah, I don't know why you ladies do that to yourself.
Well, we're not so much anymore. Leggings as pants. That's a comfort thing. That's a comfort choice. Yeah.
I can't pull that off. Wish I could, but I can't.
and you
I
know
got
what?
the ass, but I just can't.
They're great. But we're finding like now women are wearing not as restrictive clothing as well. So men are getting more variation where women are getting more comfortable. What this is resulting in is that in casual dress, like look at people dressing casually, and you're gonna go, wow, it's really hard to distinguish clothing genderly now. It's getting a lot harder.
And there's people that have big problems with that, but that's neither here nor there. So
there are people who have problems with that, but they shouldn't. No. I mean, fuck. Why can't everybody just wear comfortable clothes?
Exactly. That's a good way to wrap that one up, because
and a wide variety of stylish, comfortable clothing.
Right.
I dig it. Self-expression and comfort. Where
and why can't we all just agree that neckties
are terrible?
Neckties are uncomfortable. They are uncomfortable.
We should all be almost naked for summer.
Yeah. I completely agree.
just bottoms, because genitals, those need to be protected. Even the Native Americans, when the Europeans got here, the women didn't cover their breasts. Why would they do that? They all wore something down there.
I'm gonna start a movement to
Mhm.
start wearing like Masters of the Universe outfits when summer hits, or we go around wearing
Right.
Skeletor outfits, or
I would this. It would kill me. It would absolutely kill me. But I would love if they got rid of, even if it were a temporary thing, just get rid of any dress code standards for the House and Senate for
Well,
that'd be
a
cool.
week.
keep the Big
Just-
Johnson ban on, please. The Big Johnson T-shirts and
No. Get rid of all of it because I want to see who shows up. I want to see who shows up in a Tap Out T-shirt or a Big Johnson T-shirt because, God damn it, when you let people wear what they choose to wear, what they really, really choose to wear, you can tell a lot about a person.
Android.